Thank you for joining for today's national webinar, Roadmap to UPSC CSE. On the behalf of our Udgam BA Program Society, I, Harshita Bakshi, welcome you all. I would like to give you some instructions before we get started. First of all, please turn off your microphone and video. Don't share the screen while attending the webinar. If you have any question, please write it in the chat box. We will take it up. I request you all to give your feedback by clicking on the link that we will be providing in the end of the webinar. Now, I would like to invite the convener of BA Program Society, Dr. Gayatri Chaturvedi. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Harshita. Thank you, Harshita. Yes, sir is here. सभी को नमस्कार इस BA Program Society की ओर से, and on behalf of BA Program Society, Udgam, and IQAC of Shyamlal College, University of Delhi, I, Dr. Gayatri Chaturvedi, welcome you all in this webinar. Yesterday was a dream, tomorrow is a vision. And to make our vision a reality, we are here with this national webinar on Roadmap to UPSC CSE. This webinar is special for our students who have joined us. And I would like to mention that around 670 participants have registered in this webinar. So we are streaming live as well as here. And it is very, very important to mention that the students are from different colleges and universities from all over the country. And that's how we can see that how important this webinar is in context to the students at present time. It is very important to decide at this time that what to do. It is very, very important for the students, especially we are talking about, as we have said, that this webinar is related with the students. So it is very, very important to decide for the students just after the graduation to what to do after graduation. Large number of students, we know that they aspire for civil services. Some of them start preparation from the very beginning of it, but they work for it. But the problem is that because of the lack of proper strategy to follow for their preparation, they need a proper guidance. And this guidance comes from the parents, from the teachers, and the most important, a successful person, as we have our speaker, Mr. Mandar, today in our webinar. Now, there are a few ingredients as well, which are very, very important for being successful. And it is that whatever you like to choose as your career, there are certain things, and these are that you have to develop an ability. This is for the students only. These are to develop an ability to focus on your attention, love your work, and do what is right in a right way and at the right time. With this note, I would like to call Dr. Kusha Tiwari, who is the convener of IQAC Shyamlal College. Dr. Kusha, please. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Gayatri. Thank you for organizing this program. BA Program Society, under your convenership, has progressed a lot, and we have seen some very nice and relevant events that you have organized for the students of BA program. I must say that we are very happy to have with us such a distinguished person as a speaker of this session, Mr. Mandar. We welcome you to this virtual webinar organized by our college. I can see that there is great participation from students. Though the classes have begun, the session has begun, but still I can see almost around 400 students who are participating in this, which actually itself is an indicator how important the topic itself is for the young people. And you know, our BA program students are very bright, and most of them, because I also teach them, so most of them are UPSC aspirants. So it's very, very heartening that, they will be able to hear from a person who has achieved success in the said field, and who will be able to rightly guide the students and motivate them to work in the right direction so that they can also achieve their dreams. Thank you so much. IQAC of the college has always supported such initiatives that our colleagues, faculty members, and students have taken and are taking. I must also thank our principal, Professor Ravi Narayankar, because it is under his leadership that we are able to fulfill all these responsibilities towards our stakeholders and guide them towards right career choices by having resource persons like this with us. So thank you so much, Gayatri ji, and thank you, Mr. Mandar, for accepting our invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kusha, Dr. Kusha. Now, a hearty welcome to our principal, Professor Ravi Narayankar, who has given us this opportunity to organize this webinar. I would like to invite our principal to welcome the speaker as well as audience and say a few words of encouragement to our student participants. Principal, sir.
Namaskar. Thank you, Dr. Gayatri, and I would like to congratulate the BA Program Committee for organizing this webinar for the benefit of the students. So you deserve all the praise. At the same time, I congratulate Mr. Mandar, and I extend a very warm welcome to you and at the same time also on behalf of SLC family, we express our sincere thanks that you have taken pains to come to this platform to encourage our students. Dear students and the participants also, I could see it has now swollen up to almost 400, and there's a lot of enthusiasm, there is a lot of inquisitiveness, a lot of curiosity in our minds. But as Dr. Kusha was also telling, Dr. Gayatri Madam जिसे बता रही थी, a BA program is a very now the course is in much demand, and over the years as an administrator also I have seen its changeover, you can say, in the last 3-4 years time, particularly when a lot of students has been asking for, particularly for BA program, for those who are aspiring for competitive examination, different types of competitive examination. So the demand and the cutoffs of BA program every year is increasing. And at the same time also, we at our own institution, we provide quality teaching, not only quality teaching and mentoring. So that is how every year our demand for BA program has been very high nowadays. So because that also shows the efforts of the teachers, and that shows the effort of the mentors and the coaches. Having said that, while civil services is one aspect, there are several other avenues. So the whole world is now, there's a tremendous amount of competition. So the thing is that you should not come under the pressure of competition, though you are living under the pressure of competition, but there is a very thin line of difference. You should not come under the pressure of competition. You are, nobody can take away competition from us. So the world is like that. It has become very competitive. But at the same time, the pressure of competitors should not take a toll on my health, so on not my head. So that is your job. Then the only thing is you just focus on yourself, carry on your good work, stay in touch with your mentors, stay in touch with your teachers. So then nobody is there to stop you from your success. As Mr. Mandar will be, he is here before you, he will be expressing. Even I have my own experiences of life, and I have my own experiences of civil services and corporate also. So the same thing, I am just the only word that is, there is no shortcut for success. You have to be very focused. Just work hard. Don't forget. Don't think about your results. Just be focused. Put a lot of hard work. that never go waste. बच्चे, so only thing you need to carry on with, stay focused and put a lot of hard work. Then nobody can snatch away success from you. That is my guarantee to you. With these words, once again, I welcome Mr. Mandar. So thank you very much, the BA Program Society. Namaskar.
Thank you
You
very
have
much,
been a
Principal
source.
Sir.
Thank you, sir. You have been a source of guidance for us as well as for the moral support. Thank you, sir, once again. Now, as sir has said, the confidence as well as hard work, these are the two things, these are the keys for the success. And to share these keys with us, we have very special person with us today, and Mr. Mandar Patki. Mr. Mandar Patki is a graduate. I would like to tell others certain things about him. He is a graduate from Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, BEAT, from Maharashtra. He got a job through placement interview while studying. Then he took a drop for 1 year to prepare UPSC examination. And this, in his first attempt, he secured top ranks in the Union Public Service Commission, and he got 22nd rank in All India rank. आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई पातकी जी। और इसी के साथ मैं चाहूंगी कि आप अपनी सक्सेस स्टोरी हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ शेयर करें और उन्हें बताएं कि आपने किस प्रकार से इसके लिए तैयारी की। रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म्स के दौरान हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के पास ढेर सारे क्वेश्चन आए और हमारे बीच जो क्वेश्चन स्टूडेंट्स ने पूछा, जो उनकी परेशानियां हैं या वो जिस तरह से गाइडेंस चाहते हैं, हम वो क्वेश्चंस आपके सामने रखेंगे एंड वी वुड लाइक दैट यू शुड आंसर फॉर ऑल दिस। और हम आपके बहुत आभारी हैं कि आप हम लोगों के साथ आए। एंड द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग इज इट शोज दैट द यंग स्टूडेंट्स वो क्या चाहते हैं। वो भी ये चाहते हैं कि हमारे ही उम्र के बच्चे या हमारे ही उम्र के जो लोग हैं वो हमें रास्ता दिखाएं। दैट इज अ ग्रेट अचीवमेंट एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक। वेलकम अगेन डॉक्टर मंदार। यस प्लीज मिस्टर मंदार।
Thank you, Gayatri ma'am, for this very nice introduction. So, yes, I am Mandar Jayantrao Patki. I have secured All India rank of 22 in my UPSC examination. I am basically from Beat district of Maharashtra, where I have completed all my primary schooling. Then I completed my diploma in mechanical engineering from Government Polytechnic Pune, and then my engineering from Vishwakarma Institute of Technology. I passed out from engineering in 2018, and I took a gap, as Gayatri ma'am has said, about 1 year from May 2018 to May 2019, and I gave UPSC Civil Services examinations attempt of 2019, and this was my first attempt. बहुत सारे लोग, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स वेबिनार में मौजूद है। मैं एक अज्यूम करके चलता हूँ कि प्रिपरेशन में आप नए हैं तो मेरा गाइडेंस उस हिसाब से होगा। मेरा नॉलेज शायद आपसे ज़्यादा ना हो, पर एक थिंग मेरे पास है कि वो है एक्सपीरियंस। एंड प्लीज टेक इट फ्रॉम मी, कुछ एक्सपीरियंस से कुछ चीज़ें बताने वाला हूँ। थोड़ी सी सरप्राइजिंग लगेगी, पर यूपीएससी के एग्जाम में, जैसे हमारा वेबिनार का टाइटल ही है रोड मैप, तो हर एक का रोड मैप अलग अलग होता है और वो सबके कैपेसिटीज पे और सबके कैपेबिलिटीज पे डिपेंड होता है। लाइक इफ आई एम स्टडिंग फॉर 11 आवर्स, तो मेरा टाइम टेबल अलग होगा। इफ आई एम स्टडिंग फॉर, आई एम अ वर्किंग एस्पिरेंट एंड आई एम स्टडिंग फॉर 4 to 5 आवर्स, तो मेरा एक टाइम टेबल अलग होगा। तो सबका एक रोड मैप अलग रहता है। कुछ एडवाइसेस दूंगा, वो मैं मानता हूँ कि स्टूडेंट्स उनके हिसाब से अडॉप्ट करेंगे। यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन में मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि 3 चीजें काफी महत्वपूर्ण है। पहला है कि मेंटल टफनेस, क्योंकि ये एग्जाम काफी आपके स्टडी के एग्जाम सिर्फ नहीं है। ये एग्जाम आपका मेंटल टफनेस हर एक चीज पे, हर एक पड़ाव पे चेक करती है। लाइक इसमें 3 पड़ाव होते हैं। फर्स्ट इज प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन, जिसमें आपको एमसीक्यू सॉल्व करने होते हैं, एंड इट इज अ क्वालिफाइंग एग्जामिनेशन। इसके मार्क्स आपके फाइनल रैंकिंग में नहीं जुड़ते हैं। दूसरा पड़ाव होता है मेंस एग्जामिनेशन, जहां आपको सब्जेक्टिव पेपर्स लिखने होते हैं और जो आपका रैंक में उसके मार्क्स गिने जाते हैं। 1750 अंक का ये एग्जामिनेशन होता है। एंड देन इट कम्स टू इंटरव्यू। यूपीएससी उसे पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट कहती है, और इंटरव्यू 275 मार्क्स का रहता है। और इंटरव्यू और मेंस का जुड़ा के एक 2000 अंकों का ये पूरा एग्जामिनेशन रहता है। यूपीएससी मेंटल टफनेस हर एक पड़ाव पे चेक करती है। इन प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन 120 मिनट में 100 एमसीक्यूज हमको सॉल्व करने होते हैं, एंड उसके ट्रस्ट में 40 या 50 क्वेश्चन से ज्यादा हम में आते नहीं है। तो वहाँ हमारा मेंटल टफनेस चेक होता है कि हम कितने कॉन्फिडेंस से आंसर करते हैं, कितने कॉन्फिडेंस से ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट करते हैं। इन मेंस एग्जामिनेशन इट इज जनरली मेंटल टफनेस हमारा ऐसा लगता है कि 3 आवर्स में एक पेपर सॉल्व करना होता है, ऐसे 2 पेपर एक दिन में, और ऐसे 2 दिन लगातार। सो दैट टेस्ट योर मेंटल टफनेस आल्सो। इंटरव्यू में तो पूरा स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट का ही इश्यू रहता है कि अगर आपसे कोई क्रिटिसिज्म वाला क्वेश्चन पूछा गया तो कितना पॉजिटिवली आप रिस्पॉन्ड करते हो, कितना मेंटली स्टेबल रह के आप रिस्पॉन्ड करते हो, और आपका कन्विक्शन कितना दिखता है। सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज मेंटल टफनेस, और मैं विद्यार्थियों को यही एडवाइस करना चाहूंगा कि कॉलेज से ही ये शुरू कर दीजिए। सेकंड क्वालिटी विच इज रिक्वायर्ड इज फिजिकल फिटनेस। फिजिकल फिटनेस का यही मतलब नहीं है कि आप जिम वगैरह जाए। फिजिकल फिटनेस क्यों रिक्वायर्ड होता है? क्योंकि इस यूपीएससी के पढ़ाई में 10 से 12 घंटे हम पढ़ाई करते हैं, एंड वो पढ़ाई प्रोडक्टिव होने के लिए एक काफी मेंटल स्टेज एज वेल एज फिजिकल स्टेट हेल्दी होना एक बहुत ही जरूरी चीज है। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि फिजिकल फिटनेस इज दैट मच रिक्वायर्ड। एंड थर्ड एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वालिटी फॉर यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन एंड फॉर एन आईएएस ऑफिसर is intellectual sharpness, your decision making ability, your analytical abilities, how convictedly you work, then how analytically you put forth your points. These are very important in your UPSC preparation. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये तो 3 हैबिट्स है, ये एस्पिरेंट्स में रहना एक काफी इम्पोर्टेंट है, और इससे काफी हेल्प मिलती है। अगर मेरे जर्नी की बात करें तो मेरा फाइनल ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया था कि यूपीएससी एज अ करियर परस्यू करना है, और एक एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ऑफिसर ये मैंने करियर डिसाइड कर लिया था। तो मेरे फाइनल ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग में मैं अपने बेसिक्स पे बहुत ज़्यादा फोकस दिया। एनसीईआरटी जो बुक्स होती है उनको मैं पढ़ना मैंने शुरू किया, और एक 2 से 3 रीडिंग मेरे फाइनल ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग तक हो गए थे, और उसके मैंने नोट्स निकाले और अपना कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी बहुत ज़्यादा क्लियर कर लिया। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि दैट कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी दैट हेल्प मी थ्रू आउट माई यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन। सो दैट इज माई फर्स्ट पॉइंट। मैं 2018 में मैं अपने इंजीनियरिंग से पास आउट हो गया, और मैंने फुल टाइम प्रिपरेशन करने का सोचा, और मैंने अपने स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स मई 2018 से शुरू कर दिए, और वो दिसंबर तक मैंने अपना जीएस मेंस का सिलेबस एज वेल एज माई ऑप्शनल सिलेबस मैंने वो कंप्लीट कर लिया था। एक बात ऐसी है कि आपका ऑप्शनल अगर आपके प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन के प्रिपरेशन से पहले कंप्लीट हो जाए, सो दैट गिव्स अ वेरी गुड एडवांटेज, क्योंकि प्रिलिमिनरी टू मेंस एग्जामिनेशन सिर्फ एक 2 या 3 महीनों का फासला रहता है, एंड बहुत सारा प्रेशर होता है वहाँ। तो इट इज वेरी लाइकली दैट आप मेंटल स्ट्रेस में आ जाते हो। तो एस्पिरेंट्स को मैं एडवाइस करूंगा कि आपका ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट आप डिसाइड जल्दी कर लीजिए, और आपका ऑप्शनल का सिलेबस आपके प्रिलिमिनरीज के आगे ही कंप्लीट कर लीजिए। देन मैंने जनवरी 2019 से प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन की शुरुआत की। मेरे अप्रोचेस में आगे बताऊंगा जब हम क्वेश्चन आंसर कर रहे होंगे। मैंने जनवरी 2019 से मेरे प्रिलिमिनरी की शुरुआत की, काफ़ी सारे क्वेश्चन पेपर्स सॉल्व किए, काफ़ी सारे बुक्स पढ़े, और हर सब्जेक्ट के लिए 1 या 2 बुक्स मैंने रखे थे, मिनिमम लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेस रखे थे, उसको मैक्सिमम टाइम रिवाइज किया। तो यही एक बेसिक मेरी स्ट्रैटेजी थी। जून 2019 में मेरी प्रिलिमिनरी हो गई। उसके बाद काफ़ी कंफर्टेबल एक स्कोर आया था कि पता ही चल गया था कि क्लियर होने वाला है, इसलिए प्रीलिम्स टू मेंस मोटिवेशन बना रहा पढ़ाई करने के लिए। और मेंस मेरा सितंबर 2019 में था, एंड देन इंटरव्यू इट वाज सपोज्ड टू हैपन in March 2020, but due to Corona, it was postponed, and it finally happened in July, 24th of July 2020, and result came on 4th August. तो एक जो मैंने टाइमलाइन इसीलिए बताई कि अगर मेरा पहला भी अटेम्प्ट है, पर इट टुक मी 2 years टू गेट माय रिजल्ट। मैंने मई 2018 से तैयारी शुरू की, मेरा रिजल्ट अगस्त 2020 में आया है। So the bottom line here is that UPSC is a long term journey, और इस लॉन्ग टर्म जर्नी में आपको बहुत ही कंसिस्टेंट रहना एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है। अगर आप एक दिन 15 घंटे पढ़ाई करते हो और दूसरे दिन मतलब जीरो ही कुछ पढ़ाई कर पाते हो, so that will not give you any productive result. So being consistent is very important throughout this journey. और जैसा मैंने पहला पॉइंट कहा कि मेंटल टफनेस, कि 2 साल आपके पास कोई जॉब नहीं है, आप अपने ग्रेजुएशन को छोड़ आते हो, आप अपने जो कंफर्ट जोन होता है कॉलेज, उसको छोड़ के आप बाहर आते हो, सो एक बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग और बहुत ही मेंटली फ्रेजाइल सिचुएशन होती है। और बहुत सारे एस्पिरेंट्स है कि बहुत ही मेंटल स्ट्रेस लेते हैं इस प्रिपरेशन के दौरान और एक बॉक डाउन हो जाते हैं। तो उनको मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि हैव अ लिटिल फेथ इन योरसेल्फ, थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस रखिए और थोड़ा सा प्रोसेस को समझिए कि प्रोसेस इज इन इटसेल्फ अ लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोसेस। तो इसमें अगर एक भी पड़ाव मिस हो गया तो पूरा साल हमें रिपीट करना पड़ता है। तो उस थिंग को दिमाग में रख के ही एस्पिरेंट्स तैयारी कीजिए। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैंने पूरा मेरा जर्नी तो बता दिया है। स्ट्रैटेजी वगैरह जो क्वेश्चंस है वो हम क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन में अभी शुरुआत कर सकते हैं, ऐसे मुझे लगता है।
Okay. थैंक यू मंदार जी, बहुत अच्छे से बताया इन ए प्रिसाइज वे एवरीथिंग यू मेंशन्ड, जो हम क्वेश्चन पूछने वाले हैं। एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू, हमारे पास करीब 600 से ऊपर रजिस्ट्रेशन आए और हमने उनमें क्वेश्चंस डाले थे और 1 घंटे के सेशन में 600 बच्चों को यहाँ पे बुला करके क्वेश्चन करना पॉसिबल नहीं था, सिंस देयर वर रिपीटिशन ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, सो वी सॉर्टेड इट आउट दैट व्हाट आर द रिप्रेजेंटेटिव क्वेश्चंस, and our faculty Dr. Bharat Garg and the another faculty Miss Rapti Mishra, they will ask the questions which has come from the students.
Okay.
Dr. Bharat and Miss Rapti. Both of them are students, both of them are faculty members. Dr. Bharat Garg, he teaches economics, and Ms. Rapti Mishra is a professor of political science.
Okay. मुझे लगता है कि भरत सर का माइक म्यूट है।
मैं अपनी ओर से तो कर रही हूँ अनम्यूट, लेकिन
थैंक यू फॉर नोटिसिंग।
मैं राप्ती का भी कोशिश कर रही हूँ। Yes.
First of all, welcome, Mr. Mandar, and lots and lots of congratulations to you, because it's not a small achievement that you have made at such a young age, joining the huge administrative machinery of the country. It's a dream of millions of students, and very few actually achieve. And Ms. Mandar, I have also to tell you that you are master of a very enthralling smile. Your presence is very inspiring for our students, because in any educational institution, this is the dream of many students, and when they meet a real successful person, it can become a huge source of inspiration. So I really hope that the program today will become a source of success to somebody in the future. So first of all, I will ask a question which can be very relevant, which you must have also faced someday. You are an engineering student, and when you set for placements, you must have been in a dilemma whether to accept placement or to go for IS preparation, because there is a lot of uncertainty attached. So how did you tackle this? Because whatever be the level of your preparation, you have some uncertainty in your mind. So how did you tackle this, sir?
Yes, sir, definitely. Uncertainty is the part and parcel of the process. यूपीएससी एग्जामिनेशन में 4 लाख बच्चे प्रीलिम में एक्चुअल पेपर में बैठते हैं, उनमें से 11,000 सिलेक्ट होते हैं। 11,000 में से 2300 मेंस में सिलेक्ट होकर इंटरव्यू में आते हैं और फाइनल इसमें करीब 900 बच्चे आते हैं। सो डेफिनेटली अनसर्टिनिटी इज देयर एट एवरी स्टेज। ये अनसर्टिनिटी प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करने के पहले भी होती है, बिकॉज in our mid-20s, students are in a state to become financially independent. They are worried about their future, and so was I. So I took placements in final year of my college. I was placed in Jacobs. It is a mechanical core company in Mumbai. However, after analyzing my performance and after seeing myself down the line 20 years in corporate job, I was not very satisfactory. And I gave a thought that अगर 20 साल आगे मैं इस कंपनी में मेरा फ्यूचर नहीं देख पा रहा हूँ, so I should pursue my dream of becoming an IAS officer, and I should give a sufficient amount of time, like 3 years I had planned. So एक 3 साल का वक्त मैं यूपीएससी को दे देता हूँ, और अगर कुछ हो नहीं सका तो मेरे पास प्लान बी था. I was about to start my banking examination preparation and महाराष्ट्र पब्लिक स्टेट कमीशंस प्रिपरेशन. सो एक प्लान बी रखना पड़ता है. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये डिलेमा सॉल्व करने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स they need to have firstly a self faith in themselves that they can do this. Secondly, I think एक हार्डवर्क करने की क्षमता होने से अच्छा हार्डवर्क करने की एक इच्छा भी होना बहुत जरूरी है. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो एक स्टूडेंट अपनी मेंटालिटी बना ले. और तीसरा की डेफिनेटली अनसर्टेनिटी है, फाइनेंशियली अनसर्टेनिटी है, इमोशनल अनसर्टेनिटी है. बट स्टूडेंट्स एक बात याद रखें कि एज मैंने पहले भी कहा कि यूपीएससी इज अ लॉन्ग टर्म जर्नी. सो बहुत सारे सैक्रिफाइसेस करने पड़ेंगे, बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें करने पड़ेंगी जो हम कॉलेज लाइफ में जनरली नहीं कर पाते थे. तो एक अनसर्टेनिटी रहती है, वो रहनी चाहिए, क्योंकि वो एक अंकुश की तरह काम करती है कि जो हमें इस जर्नी में सस्टेन करने में हेल्प करती है. हम थोड़े से अंडर प्रेशर में कुछ अच्छा परफॉर्म कर पाते हैं. तो मैं स्टूडेंट्स को यही एडवाइस करूंगा कि इस अनप्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी एंड अनसर्टेनिटी को बहुत ज्यादा सीरियसली ना ले. थोड़ा सा प्लानिंग करे, थोड़ा सा अपने फ्यूचर के बारे में प्लान बी रखना बहुत जरूरी है. एंड वही मैंने किया था, एंड दैट वाज हाउ आई टैकल्ड दिस सिचुएशन ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटी.
Thank you. That must have satisfied students. Rati ma'am, will you ask your question?
Yes. Before I start with my question, I would like to congratulate our speaker today. And we are really glad that you agreed to join us for enlightening our curious audience. So before I started my question, the first question which has come from our audience is, what are the most important things which one should keep in mind while preparing for civils? If you could outline few points.
Okay. Ma'am, first thing first, that you should read and revisit syllabus every week. That is the most important thing, because in UPSC preparation, it is being said that UPSC can ask anything under the sun. But I think that is not true, because UPSC has a predefined syllabus. So if aspirants are finding difficult to directionalize their preparation, so they should follow the syllabus. So that is first point. Second point, that your resources, they should be very well selected, and they should be very limited. So that is the second point, because I have seen many aspirants who run after the resources rather than reading the same book multiple times. So एक ऐसी चीज हो जाती है कि हम बहुत सारे बुक्स पढ़ते हैं, but we are not in a position to reproduce that. And that is the most important, because it is not your knowledge that will matter. It is the things that you will write in your mains examination that will matter a lot. So reproduction of that knowledge is very important. So I will advise students that limited resources and maximum revision is the key. Third thing, ma'am, thoda sa cost benefit analysis is very important in this examination. There are some subjects which we should not give that much weightage, because it has been of very significant or very less significant weightage in UPSC examination. And there are some subjects like polity, economics, environment, which have greater weightage both in preliminary examination and mains examination. So our focus should be on such subjects, so that cost benefit analysis is also required. And I will answer what things to avoid. That firstly, avoid negativity in this examination, because that will pull you down like anything. And बहुत सारे महीने लग जाते हैं कि अपने आप को self motivate करने में. So that is first thing. Second thing, plan, because I have seen many aspirants who do preparation in haphazard manner, and that preparation eventually do not give any product. So planning is very important. So I generally advise aspirants to have two levels of planning. First is a macro plan. Your monthly target should be set, and you should be working towards achieving that targets. And second should be a micro plan. Your daily target should be there, and if you are comfortable, you can melt it down towards the slots. Like I had 4 slots: morning slot, afternoon slot, evening, and night slot. So that much level of planning is required. So planning is a must. And third and final thing, which should aspirants avoid, is prediction, because UPSC is a trend breaker. UPSC is breaking the trends which it is setting in previous year's examination. UPSC is becoming dynamic day by day. UPSC is becoming unpredictable day by day. So better to sharpen our tools, better to sharpen our techniques, which are required to face UPSC, rather than wasting our time to predict the questions which will be there in UPSC examination. So these are some things I think these things should be pursued by aspirants, and some things should be avoided by aspirants.
Okay, thank you. There's a lot of information about you on the net. So I could read that you made micro plans and macro plans.
Yes.
And in December, you could tell what syllabus will you be covering in March.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask two things. How did you prepare simultaneously at the graduation level? You must be prepared. You started, as you told, you started in the last year of your graduation. So how did you distribute your time for your engineering and towards your preparation for the civil services, number one? And number two, uh, the macro plan that you made, if that plan someday goes haywire, then how did you compensate that?
Okay. Yes, sir. Answering the first part, I think balancing your academics with your UPSC preparation, that is the most difficult challenge the aspirants as well as the students face in their while they are pursuing the graduation. So first thing, any of graduation is there, be it BA, be it MCon, be it BTech, or be it MTech. It is very likely that aspirants can take out 4 to 5 hours daily for their preparation. And one thing which is needed, that your self commitment, because your consistency, that you should study UPSC syllabus for 4 hours at least a day, and that is required. So my approach was that my college used to be in morning shift, and by 3 p.m. I used to get over my college. So at 5 I was in a position to start my syllabus. I take one session of 5 to 8 in fixed manner, 3 hours session, and then from 9 to 10 and a half. So that was my basic planning. एक अगर आप एक आदत आपसे लगा लो तो 5 बजे आपका दिमाग कहेगा ही कि अब प्रिपरेशन करना चालू करना चाहिए. So that consistency is required, which will keep you punctual. That is the first point. Second point, do not neglect your academics, because they are too are very important, because आपके academics में से बहुत सारे questions UPSC interview में पूछे जाते हैं. So having a very basic foundation strong for academics, that is very much required. And third thing, I think that prioritizing your preparation while you are in graduation, that will definitely benefit you. Like I prioritize that I will have to build a very strong foundation during my graduation years. I was not in a position to grasp what is exactly the newspaper is telling about. So I melted down to the fact that my foundation is very weak. So I built my foundation, I concentrated on that. So in this way, I think a proper prioritization as well as proper consistency in time slots, that can definitely help you while you are preparing, while you are in college.
All right. Yes. The next question is related to dealing with NCERT. So could you please throw some light on how to deal with NCERT and how important it is to take down notes?
Okay. Ma'am, firstly, NCERT are the foundations, because for us, the students which are from technical backgrounds, the subjects like political science, economics, they are a bit difficult to understand at first. So the NCERTs are introductory materials which gives us a conceptual clarity as well as a basic aptitude which is required by the subject. So NCERTs are must. Many students ask that कितने standard से NCERT पढ़ने चाहिए. I will advise that from 8th standard it is very good if you have ample amount of time. If you are serious aspirant and just you have 1 year of time frame, you can start from 10th standard. Now, how to tackle the NCERTs? Firstly, do not take the notes in very first reading, because in very first reading you are getting to know about the contents of the book, as well as you are getting a lot of new information. So you will not be in a position to segregate that information and just bring out the points which are important, which will be written down in the notes. So first thing, give a full reading for the book. In second reading, just mark out some important keywords in book itself, that these are the keywords, and in revision I will have to refer this again. That will give me a conceptual understanding. So that should be your second reading approach. And I will advise that a short note should be made in third reading, wherein you are writing the points which you are not able to regain, or you are writing the points which you think are most important from the books. So this should be the approach for NCERTs, and I think notes are very important because you have to revisit them again and again, and that will definitely give you conceptual clarity, especially for the subjects like economics and political science. It is very much advised that notes, a crisp note should be there.
And you told that consistency is the key, and NCERT books from 10th onwards should be studied. So I was seeing that you took anthropology, and rather than taking your engineering subjects. So what are the factors that led you to choose anthropology rather than your engineering subjects? Was it scoring pattern? Was it success rate? Was it your interest? What was that?
Yes, sir. So coming from a technical background, and I am a mechanical engineer, and that optional was available in UPSC. However, scoring was my first priority because year by year, I has analyzed the trend that mechanical engineering had scores in extremes. Like either you will get 320 plus or you will get 220 minus. So that is the trend because time management becomes an issue in mechanical engineering. So I avoided that. Anthropology is a subject which is getting very good scores year by year in UPSC. Second point is that it has very crisp syllabus which can be covered in 3 months time span. Then third point is I was preparing from Pune, so online and offline guidance was available for anthropology in Pune, so that was also consideration. And when I started reading anthropology, that was a very good subject, and एक जनरल स्टडीज के एक स्टडी से बहुत ही एक बोर हो जाता है इंसान. सो एंथ्रोपोलॉजी इट प्रोवाइडेड मी अ मेंटल रिफ्यूज. कोई नया सब्जेक्ट पढ़ने को मिल रहा था, so that helped me to keep my interest on in anthropology. So I think that these factors overall led me to choose anthropology as my optional subject.
That's very interesting because I have heard that when people get bored from studies, they choose to play or something like that. But successful people choose to study some other subject.
Yes, sir.
It's all perseverance, sir. My next question is related to preparation of CSAT, and especially for those students who are poor in maths. What would you advise for them?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. One thing I will like clarify here that though I was from an engineering background, my CSAT score is only around 80s, and I was really worried about my CSAT because I did not give enough time. I solved only one paper of CSAT, and that's it. So I will advise aspirants not to neglect CSAT, especially for those who are not having mathematics as their background, who are not having a technical as their backgrounds, like BA political science, BA other subjects. So a strategy of CSAT should be that you should be analyzing the trends of UPSC, that UPSC is asking certain amount of passage in which critical thinking is required. UPSC is asking questions in which basic mathematical skills are required, and that skill is only of 10th standard, and UPSC specifies it in its syllabus. So that is the first thing. Second thing, I think solving UPSC's previous year question paper from 2013 onwards will be a very prudent strategy because that will give you a practice of solving around 7 to 8 papers. That will give you an perspective that UPSC is asking this type of questions, and whether you have to target passages or whether you have to target the numericals. So that is the second point. And third point, if the aspirants are not in a position to solve the mathematical problems, so any basic books, though I am not very sure about which books are there for CSAT, any basic book which gives you aptitude for solving numericals, that can be referred, and aspirants are advised to go on YouTube and see some formulas which are there, which can be implemented in solving these numerical things. So that will be there, and I think that is the bottom line. Do not neglect the CSAT. There are many of my friends who have very good score in GS, but they did not qualify because their CSAT was not that good, and they didn't qualify in CSAT. So please do not take CSAT for granted.
That must be very heartbreaking for your friends.
Yeah.
And sir, current affairs, you told that one should make notes from newspapers also, but it must be very time consuming to make notes. And it is the question is in tandem with another earlier question that how do you manage time? Because if I look at it personally, when I allocate 5 hours for something, let's say making notes of an NCRT book chapter, I will actually end up taking more than 8 or 9 hours for that. So it becomes, the whole plan becomes irrational. So how do you advise about it?
Yes, sir, definitely. There will be many times when your micro plan, your daily targets will not be met. For that, I think a reserve day should be there per week. Like for me, it was Sunday. If I do not complete any particular topic of syllabus, if any syllabus has been left, so I could cover that on Sunday. Otherwise, it was holiday for me. So that is the first point. Second point, time management definitely is an issue, especially when you are new to the preparation, when you are just starting the preparation. So I think a slot-wise planning is very better. Like for me, I knew that my evening slot is very lethargic slot. So I used to keep newspapers at that time because newspapers are very like refreshments. They definitely do not require that much amount of efforts which is required for theoretical portions. So that planning should be there. Like you should be knowing that which time slot is very productive for you. For me, it was my morning and afternoon slot. So I used to keep my optional subject in afternoon slot and my GS preparation in morning slot. So that was there. So firstly, analyze your reading speed, because your reading speed is very important. If you are in a position to read only 100 pages, but you are planning for 150 pages a day, that plan is bound to fail. So firstly, analyze your skills. Secondly, if and fix your study times, because if you are studying for 10 hours, you are studying for 12 hours, that doesn't matter as long as you are studying that hours productively. So that productivity should be the key, not the hours. So productivity should, aspirant should target this productivity aspect. And thirdly, I think that time management, ruthlessness is definitely required. Like in UPSC preparation, there is no parenting by external agencies. So self-parenting is the key. Like if I'm not able to complete any target due to my lethargic attitude, then some punishments will be there. So that type of punishment and reward mechanism, I think that helps to keep time-bounded plan to be well executed. So that is the first thing. And I think second, addressing the second part of the question about the newspapers. Sir, I used to read the Hindu newspaper before my mains, and after my mains, I started reading the Indian Express. I will advise aspirants to just select only one newspaper. How to read newspaper? I think editorials should be targeted, and mains and prelims segregated notes should be made from the newspaper. Initially, definitely, it will take 4 or sometimes 5 hours also, but eventually things will fall in place, and you will reduce that time to 2 and 2.5 hours. So reading the newspaper is important, and taking out the notes is also important. So that was my approach, and I used to follow one YouTube channel, Only IAS, which gave the editorial analysis. Initially, I referred that analysis to have a better understanding how to read the editorials. Then I started to self-read the editorials and take out my notes. So that was my basic approach for newspapers.
Incredible, I must say. Most of our audiences are from Hindi backgrounds. So could you please suggest any newspaper from Hindi so that they can also read and make notes out of it?
Ma'am, I'm not very sure, but I think that Jagran, that is a newspaper which many aspirants read for UPSC. But I'm not very sure because either I read vernacular, Dainik Jagran, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that newspaper Hindi aspirants can refer, and if it is in English, then the Hindu or the Indian Express, they can suffix.
Okay, so as you said that we should make notes from the newspapers, there are some websites which publish monthly summary of news. So I have been told that that cannot be a substitute for the newspapers. but I would like to know your views. Number two, could you suggest some useful websites for students, because they will be actually starting to build their base?
Okay. Sir, addressing the first part, I think a newspaper is not just to read the knowledge. It is an evolving process that your mindset get evolved, your analytical skills get improved while you are reading the newspaper. So a coaching summary of newspaper that will just give you the facts, but the basic tools which are required, like the analytical skills, the critical thinking ability, that will not be developed, and that will cost you a lot in your mains. And trust me, it hurts when you fail means in very big margin. So I think the ability should be focused while reading the newspaper, that if this editorial is written, if editorial is specifying some pros of anything, like let's say Chabahar port we are building in Iran, so what are the pros, what are the challenges, and that is the 360-degree analysis which we get from the newspaper. So that thing is important. So monthly magazines of newspaper, I think that should be avoided as far as possible. If any aspirants are there who are working, who cannot take out more than 4 to 5 hours a day for studying, for them newspapers can be substituted by this coaching institute. But for the aspirants who are full-time preparing, in my opinion, they should read newspapers. And if you have to refer to any coaching material, then yearly compilations are there. You can just read them in a month of February or March, when you have prelims 2 months ahead. So yearly compilation just to add the knowledge which might have left after reading the newspapers. So that can be there. That can be act as a supplementary material to your newspaper study. So that is my opinion on this. And addressing the second part, sir. Sir, is it okay if I name the sites? Like,
please do.
Okay. So first site which I followed, especially for preliminary purpose, that was GK Today. It gave a very good factual information, and it was very good with regarding collecting various facts, especially related to history. Then secondly, I think Insights on India is there, especially for some analysis. If I didn't find it very good in newspapers, I used to go on Insights on India. Then Sir, Vision IS is there. I used to refer this site for downloading their yearly compilation for especially for my preliminary purpose. When I was there I attended my prelim in June 2019. So I read that yearly compilation just to supplement my newspaper notes in month of March, if I'm not wrong. So these three sites are there, which I use rigorously, and yeah, that is it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next question, I would rather ask two questions. The first question is, how important is to have a good command over language?
Okay.
And if yes, it is important, then what are the ways to improve it? And also, what is the success ratio of Hindi medium students in UPSC CSE?
Okay. Ma'am, I think the fluency of language does not matter. I will segregate it in prelims, mains, and interview purpose. I think in preliminary examination, language issue is not there, because you just have to solve the MCQs. You have to read the questions, and they are available both in English as well as in Hindi. So that issue does not arise in preliminary examination. That arise in mains and interview stage, especially in interview stage. For main stage, your medium does not matter, as long as you are writing very to the point answers. You are addressing the key aspect of the question, and you are hitting the bullseye, and you are not just beating around the bush. So that is the first point. So for mains, I think there are very good, very much toppers who clear this every year by vernacular medium, by Hindi medium. Like I have my friend Subramanyam Kelkar, who has cleared this exam in his very second attempt in Marathi medium. So that does not matter. Your language does not matter there. Whether to choose English for mains, that is an issue that many Hindi students especially ask, because many are rural background students. They are not very comfortable with their English. I will advise them that legible English is only required, not very flowery language of English is required, or not very fluent English is required. Only you should be in a position to write a grammatically correct answers in your mains. So that is what it matters. So if you are in that position, please select English, because many materials are available in English, and you do not have to take that efforts to translate some things into your medium if your medium is different than the English. However, if you are very bad with English, or a basic aptitudes or basic skills which are required to read English are not there, then definitely I will advise aspirants to go for some other medium if they are very comfortable in it and if the resources are available in it. So that these are some points which you have to think before selecting a medium. So that was for communication. And for interview, yes, it is a challenge, because many a times it has been seen that even if we opt for medium other than English, interview board is advising to speak English language, however bad it is. So a very basic type of English you should be knowing for interview stage. If not, you can request the chairman sir or chairman ma'am to allow you to communicate through Hindi, and they will definitely do so if you are not very comfortable in expressing your views through English medium. So that expression, that conviction that you give to interview board, that matters a lot rather than your language. So these are my views on English or Hindi debate. As addressing the second part, whether what are the chances of Hindi students, ma'am, I think that there are many sides of this issue. The one side which I want to convey is that your language really does not matter. Your academic background does not matter. Your scorings in your background does not matter, as long as you have that qualities which are required by a UPSC aspirant, and more importantly by an civil servant. So that is the key, that in my opinion, everybody has equal chance, everybody has equal footing in this examination, and there are equal chances of succeeding of English background student and Hindi medium student. So that is my view on the subject.
Okay, मंडार साहब, एक बड़ा ही अजीब सा क्वेश्चन है, शायद एकेडमिक नहीं है। तो वो ये क्वेश्चन है कि अगर आपका एग्जाम मई के फर्स्ट वीक में है, तो प्रीलिम एग्जाम, तो ये तो ऑब्वियस है कि 5 तारीख, अगर आपका 7th को एग्जाम है तो 5 तारीख के अखबार से क्वेश्चंस नहीं आएंगे। yes. तो कब तक के करंट अफेयर्स हमें तैयार करने चाहिए अगर मई में एग्जाम है, और इसी तरह से मेंस में भी कब तक के हमें करंट अफेयर्स तैयार करने चाहिए?
Sir, I will advise for preliminary examination, you can avoid reading last 15 days of newspaper, because तब तक question paper set हो गया होता है, because logistic issues are there and UPSC has to transport that question papers to every center. So 15 days buffer period can be advised to students. Second thing, for mains examination, you can similarly avoid 15 days, but please read the newspaper for first initial 2 months, because in my mains there was amendment, there was parliament session going on, and there was amendment to UPA and National Security Act, NIA Act, and that was asked in UPSC GS3 paper. So following current affairs for initial 2 months in mains is required, and many a times UPSC asks question from this period, because especially there is a parliamentary session, many new bills get introduced, many bills are in debate, and many important amendments they are passed. So that becomes important. So that is my view. You can avoid last 15 days reading of newspaper and focus on revision more in this last 15 days.
Thank you so much.
My next question is related to revision only. And the students have asked that how many times one should revise before the commencement of exam?
Okay. Ma'am, it's bit of subjectivity is involved, because it depends upon how much command you have over your content. So for me, it was around 6 to 7 times before my preliminary examination. And for mains examination, it was around 3 revisions for general studies and around 7 revisions for my optional subject. My initial thrust from very beginning was optional subject, and I think that paid me off. So it depends upon your level of preparation. It depends upon your command over any subject, because every subject will not require same number of revision. For me, I found it very difficult to understand geography and environment, so my emphasis was more on that. I revised them more than I revised polity, because polity was easy for me, and the number of revisions I gave for environment were definitely more than number of revisions I gave for polity. So that time, as I have initially said, the cost benefit, you just average your weaknesses and you utilize your strengths. That is the key for the revision. And one skill which you have to acquire while revising is that you have to know where you have to accelerate the revision and where you have to break. Like there is some portion which is very important or which you are not understanding despite of many readings. So that portion you have to reread again. And there are some portions which you have very good knowledge of. The facts are very clear to you. You just have to go through it once. So that skill is definitely required. And I guess that gets evolved when you are in a preparation mode and when you complete your syllabus 2 or 3 times. So I think that is the key.
Okay. We are sorry because we are bombarding you with so many questions.
No.
This is a question by one student, Dikshant Sharma. As you told that this is a 2-year journey, and this is a test of your perseverance, test of your patience also. So how do you keep yourself motivated for such a long journey? Because there will be phases when you feel depressed also.
Okay, yes, sir. Definitely, sir. I think unemployment was one reason that I was an engineer, but I was not employed anywhere. So that motivation was definitely there because that, as I have said, a little bit of stress एक अंकुश की तरह काम करता है कि आपको एक discipline में वो रखता है. So that is very, that was definitely one reason. Second was, I think that the motivation or the reason why you want to enter in this service, that should be very crystal clear because that will give you a direction that आपको कहीं भी थकना नहीं है, आपको कहीं भी रुकना नहीं है. You have to be consistent in it. Yes, definitely there will be some times when you will feel very low. There will be the times when you have self-doubt whether I can clear this examination or not. But in that time, I will advise that please go to your mentors. I had a very good mentors in my UPSC preparation. They will definitely try to pump you up. Go to your peers because peers are very good. They motivate you in very simple languages. They are हम कहते हैं कि हमदर्द होते हैं हमारे कि हम जिस फेज से जा रहे होते हैं. They are also going through same phase. So definitely that peer advice is definitely that can help. And for me, I used to watch some movies, some YouTube videos if I'm not feeling very well while studying any particular day. So that was it. A very pursuing your hobbies for days in which you are not very feeling very comfortable. That can be a way ahead. That can be a stress buster for you. So that was generally my plan. And I think please do not stop your journey in midway because it is a long-term journey, and it will definitely test your patience and your toughness in this process. So yeah.
यूपीएससी में काफ़ी पढ़ना पड़ता है और काफ़ी डाइवर्स इश्यूज पढ़ने होते हैं. स्टूडेंट्स के लिए ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट एक इशू है कि पढ़ तो ले हम सब कुछ, बट उसे प्रोड्यूस करना, रिप्रोड्यूस करना ड्यूरिंग एग्जाम, उसे रिटेन करना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. तो बहुत सारे बच्चे ये जानना चाहते हैं कि कैसे इंश्योर करें कि जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं उसे रिटेन कर सके और उसे उसी अच्छी काबिलियत से उसे रिप्रोड्यूस भी कर सके ड्यूरिंग एग्जाम्स. तो इस पे अगर आप अपने डेली रूटीन को अगर शेयर कर पाएं, जिस तरीके से आपने अपने आप को डिसिप्लिन किया और किस तरीके से स्ट्रैटेजाइज किया अपने सारे सब्जेक्ट्स को टाइम देना, तो विल बी ग्रेट.
No, I think that for able to reproducing the knowledge in examination, your command over your core foundation is very much required, because if you are revising any particular subject multiple times, then definitely we'll have a very good grasp over the content. So that is first thing, that you should be revising more on the notes as well as on the books which you are reading. So that is the first key. Second key is that, ma'am, writing practice is very much required when it comes to mains examination, because it's not only introduction, body, conclusion, it is what you are writing in the answers. So that practice is very required. Third thing, if I will be talking my routine, definitely there were some hours privately, there were 2 hours I reserved every day for my revision purposes, especially if I have finished my GS1 syllabus in this particular week. Then after a week, I will definitely revise all GS1 syllabus, so as to gauge whether any particular point is there which I am not able to recollect any particular fact or any particular concept, whether any particular area is there where I'm very good at. So I identified these areas, and in my second reading, I emphasized on these areas so as to work on my weaknesses. So I think that is very important. Please identify your weaknesses, because सबके सभी सब्जेक्ट अच्छे नहीं होते हैं. कई सब्जेक्ट ऐसे होते हैं कि थोड़ा सा बेसिक एप्टीट्यूड नहीं होता है इंसान में, तो उन सब्जेक्ट्स पे थोड़ा सा ज्यादा काम कीजिए. जिन सब्जेक्ट्स में आपका बहुत एक अच्छा स्कोर आ रहा है, एक बात अच्छा कमांड आ गया है, उन सब्जेक्ट को यूटिलाइज कीजिए. तो यही कहना चाहूंगा. एंड यस, दैट इज द थिंग, योर रिविजन्स, your answer writing practice, and yeah, that is the key for reproduction that information in examination. And one thing which I forget to talk about is the factual knowledge, because many a times it is a concern for the students. So I will advise students to consolidate their factual knowledge at one place. I used to use the Evernote app, wherein I made my all factual knowledge by subject wise. Like for polity, if there is a transparency index, India ka rank kya hai, and that is all in one place, so as you revise it repeatedly, and that information gets ingrained in you very very firmly. And that information you have to revise just before your mains examination, because our very recent memory keeps intact. And please utilize this. Pictorial memory is a very good thing if you are not very good with the facts. That can improve your memorization. So please practice this memorization technique also for factual information.
Okay. Did you mention some app?
Yes, sir. Evernote app is there.
Okay. Okay. Evernote. Okay. So you mentioned one thing is consistency, and the second thing is you should study less material, but you should make maximum revisions of that material.
Yes.
So in connection with that, let's take the example of political science. So there is one book, very famous book. Could you name that book? Unable to recall
Lakshmikant.
Lakshmikant. Yes, Lakshmikant. So should we make it a combination of Lakshmikant and NCERTs, or just Lakshmikant is enough? So students have this kind of dilemma, where to go for a combination of Lakshmikant plus NCERTs or only standard books. So could you give us a brief introduction about the material that you used for your preparation?
Like a book list for all the subjects?
Yes.
Okay.
Book list plus if there are some other sources also.
Okay. Yes, sir. So for polity, we'll start with polity. NCERTs were there because I was a technical background student, and I was not at all introduced to the terms like voting, universal adult franchisee. So NCERTs cleared my foundation, and Lakshmikant, definitely, it is the Bible for polity. So Lakshmikant was one source. Then for a governance portion, Lakshmikant.
Sorry for interruption. NCERTs from which class onwards?
Sir, mine was 6th class onward, because I started from my final year of engineering. So I had ample amount of time for preparation. So I started with 6th standard. Then Lakshmikant was there, and definitely there is a section in GS2 of mains, governance section. Yes. For that, I referred my Vision IS classes there. Their value addition modules I referred, because Lakshmikant is not sufficient for that governance issue. So that was there. For international relations, newspapers were my primary source, and I supplemented my knowledge with yearly compilation. As I said before, mains 365 is there. So if any bilateral relation is in news, like my India-Japan relation was covered from mains 365, and the same question was asked in UPSC final year examination. So IR I completed from this newspaper as well as the mains 365. Then for economics, I think basic NCERTs helped me a lot, especially that 12th standard macroeconomics book. That was very good for conceptual clarity. Then I referred Sriram IS notes for Lakshmi for economics, and apart from that, one book is there known as Shankar Ganesh. 3rd edition is available online. There are current latest edition, 5th edition. So Shankar Ganesh is very small book, but very effective one. It will give you a conceptual clarity for that. So for economics, this was book list. For environment, it was a bit challenging for me, because काफी सारा factual information है. So my primary resource was Shankar IAS environment booklet. apart from that, I focused more on current affairs because many a times any news, national park is in news. So that is often asked by UPSC. So for environment, Shankar IAS was my best material. And other than that, my newspaper as well as the yearly compilation for preliminary purposes. Then science and technology. I didn't refer any core book for science and tech, just it was current affairs, my newspaper, as well as the yearly compilation for preliminary examination. Then geography. Sir, I think geography is the one subject wherein NCERTs will be suffixed because NCERTs are very, very good. They cover a lot of information, especially when it comes to Indian geography. So I think from standard 8, NCERTs are very good for geography, especially the physical NCERT of class 11, the human geography of class 12, the economic geography of class 12th, if I'm not wrong. And the geography of India name book is there, which is of class 11th. So 11th and 12th NCERT for geography, they will definitely suffix. Some people refer for GC Leong, but I think GC Leong very selective reading can be there, but a whole book reading is not required. So geography was there, and current affairs, newspaper were primary materials. And apart from that, Vision IAS, PTN 365, which are yearly compilations to supplement any information which I missed from my newspapers. I think I covered all the subjects. If in yes, history is remaining. For ancient history, old NCERT I referred, Bipin Chandra, if I'm not, or Satish Chandra, old NCERT for ancient history. For medieval history, new NCERT I referred, which is of 10th class. Then for modern history, I didn't refer NCERT, but I referred Spectrum by Rajiv Wahir. It is a very comprehensive book, and I think that will suffice for modern history. And for art and culture, there is one NCERT of fine arts of 11th standard. That is very good material. And apart from that, a very selective reading of Nitin Singhania. Nitin Singhania. So that was my material for art and culture. If any subject is remaining, please let me
know. How do you prepare for ethics?
Ethics, yes, sir. Sir, ethics, I think Lukman IAS is one class. They have written notes. So I referred these notes. And there was Maharashtra topper of 2017, Sri Krishna Pancha, sir. He had his handwritten notes. So I borrowed it from him, and they were also my source. So these two sources, I take out only 10 pages notes for ethics, and I revised them multiple times. One thing which I did differently for ethics was collecting very specific case studies from internet. Like there are many keywords for syllabus in ethics syllabus of UPSC. So I collected the case studies with regards to that keywords, and I revised them multiple times so as they were by heart for me, and I will be in position to easily reproduce them in examination. So that was basic ethics strategy.
Are these available?
So, okay, sir, you go ahead.
I was asking, are these case studies available in the market?
Sir, they are not. Like there is no one-stop document where they are in. But I think many classes come up with this case study modules. So you have to just pick up the best ones and associate with any syllabus point and write down in your notes. So that was the strategy which I adopted.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. How about D.D. Basu and Subhash Kashyap Parliament?
Okay. Ma'am, I didn't read those books because D.D. Basu, Subhash Kashyap, I read after my mains because I was very interested in polity. But I will suggest that that book is not at all required for GS purposes. For PSI, Political Science and International Relation optional, that book is very good. But for general studies purposes, Lakshmikant will suffix, and D.D. Basu is very difficult to understand because that throws a lot of factual information. Many cases are there. So D.D. Basu, please avoid. Subhash Kashyap is one. Yeah, Subhash Kashyap is a good book, but I think it is not required for polity purpose.
All right. This should be the last question from my side. So I'd like to ask your opinion regarding social media and networking to the audience. What would be your message to them?
Okay. Like ma'am, whether students should be using social media during preparation?
Yeah.
Okay. So ma'am, My opinion in this is very extreme because I installed my WhatsApp, my Instagram, my Twitter during my UPSC preparation, because that was a source of distraction for me, and they were a source of distraction for many students. So I will advise students to keep an arm length distance from these medias, because distraction is the last thing you want in your UPSC preparation. So if you are not finding it productive, and I am very sure they are not very productive, like Instagram is of no use in your UPSC preparation. So Twitter is not of any use for your UPSC preparation. So please avoid these platforms. There is one platform which is very useful. It is Telegram, because many resources are there on Telegram channels. Many good channels are there. Like I used to read newspapers online from Telegram channels. So that is a media which can be used, and other medium, I think students should keep an arm length distance.
Yeah, almost done with our questions, I guess. Huh? You have any question, you can go ahead with it.
I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to thank Mr. Mandar for answering so many questions, and with so much modesty. I'm really, I have become a fan of Mr. Mandar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And thanks for your patience.
Thanks.
So over to Gayatri ma'am.
हाँ, सबसे पहले तो मैं यही कहना चाहूंगी कि हमारे दोनों प्रोफेसर्स ने आपका एग्जॉस्टिव इंटरव्यू लिया, and I hope each and every question which the students have asked in their form, we have covered all those questions along with the chat box. Whatever was coming in the chat box, Dr. Bharat was saying all those things. So you are facing 3 experts from economics, political science, and myself from history.
Okay.
That is a great thing. And I really enjoyed it. And I hope whatever tips you have given, it is very, very useful for our student. But before that, one of the student who is the president of this BA program society, Udgam, who has done a lot of work, as you also know, approaching you and finalizing each and everything, contacting all the students from all over the universities and colleges. I would like to call Akash so that he should say a few words, whatever he feels like. Yes, Akash.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to speak here. First of all, I would like to extend my profound gratitude to our honorable guest speaker, Mandar sir, for giving this informative session. I am very grateful to you, sir, for accepting our proposal and took time out of your busy schedule for enlightening us. I am very sure that your session with you will definitely help us to locate a clear path in the career for UPSC civil service examination. As far as our team preparation is concerned, then I am very fortunate to have a team of dedicated and motivated members who really work hard for conducting this webinar. I want to each and every member to thanks for their participation and work for they have put efforts in the conducting for the webinar. And finally, at last, I would like to say that our society will get new heights of success in the future. So finally, I would like to invite Mr. Ramesh Varnwal sir for vote of the things. Thank you, ma'am.
Just before that, I would like to thank Shamlal College, Udgam Society, Honorable Gayatri ma'am, Honorable Bharat sir, and Honorable Rapti ma'am for giving me this wonderful platform to interact with the students. And I wish Udgam Society all the best, and Shamlal College all the best for this such wonderful initiatives. And yeah, it was a great pleasure to interact with you all. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is all ours, sir.
Ramesh Varnwal sir. Is he here? Yes, Ramesh sir. I think he was here. I saw him. Let me see. Ramesh sir. कोई बात नहीं, हो सकता है उनकी कनेक्टिविटी ना मिली हो, क्योंकि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हमारे नए मीडियम में वी ऑल आर नाउ एंगेजिंग द न्यू मीडियम ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट लॉकडाउन ऑनवर्ड्स. So it has become a trend for all the colleges everywhere because this was the best option for us. तो उसके लिए हो सकता है कई बार इंटरनेट प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं. So let me see. I'm not able to contact him, रमेश बरनवाल सर. पर मंदार जी, हम लोगों को बहुत ही अच्छा लगा आपको बुला करके. And as you were saying that peer learning is the most important part. So for our students, it is the peer learning from you. And I hope that whatever guidance you have given to our students who are aspiring for the civil services or for any of the competitive examination, these are the things for all sort of competitive examinations, they are going to be very, very useful and helpful for them. That how to monitor your own time. That is the best part. Hard work. और आपको यहाँ सामने देखकर बच्चों को जरूर से encouragement मिला होगा कि हम भी ये काम कर सकते हैं. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation. I know that you are going to be busy, पर मेरे जो बच्चे आपको देख रहे होंगे लाइफ में बाद में जरूर कहेंगे कि सर का इंस्पिरेशन जो है हमको आगे बढ़ने के काम आया. That was the best part. And I really thank our principal, Professor Ravi Narayan का. उन्होंने हमको चांस दिया यहाँ पर सबके सामने, सब बच्चों के सामने, because as he said in the beginning, हमारा BA program society बहुत सारे कोर्सेज हैं, कॉमर्स, साइंस एंड ह्यूमैनिटीज के ऑनर्स कोर्सेज भी चलते हैं कॉलेज में. एंड दिस BA प्रोग्राम सोसाइटी में बहुत से बच्चे सिर्फ इसलिए आते हैं कि हमको आगे सिविल सर्विसेज में जाना है. एंड इफ आई टेक साइंस और कॉमर्स देन आई हैव टू डिवोट मोर टाइम ऑन दैट. सो इट इज बेटर टू टेक BA program with the combination what you said, political science, history, this is the most favored subject for them, that it is economics and all. So we have large number of students for that, and that's why we thought that we should have this type of thing where the real person who has passed, who has cracked the examination, we should know his own views. And this is the direct channel. That's how students are contacting you. So thank you, and thanks for our principal. In our college, IQAC, the society is working hard to maintain the standard, academic standard of our college, and Kusha madam is there. She is taking care for this. And I also thank all the teachers of BA Program Society as well as of all the subjects of our college who has joined this seminar. I also thank all the students, क्योंकि ये पूरा का पूरा सेमिनार एक ही एम से किया गया था कि हमारे बच्चे जहाँ के भी हैं, कॉलेज के, यूनिवर्सिटी के, ऑल ओवर द कंट्री दे हैव जॉइन, वो सभी बच्चों को इससे फायदा है और मिले. और इस उम्मीद है कि इससे बच्चों को बहुत फायदा मिला होगा. एंड इसके साथ ही हमारी टीम जो पिछले रमेश जी ने ज्वाइन ही कर लिया, और जो हमारी एक टीम थी जो ये उद्गम आकाश, और आपको पता होगा आकाश बहुत दिनों से पीछे पड़ा, मैडम ये तो हमको कराना ही है. That was his determination. और उसके पीछे starting from the scratch, that is making the posters, talking to you, and all sort of mails, forms, everything, whatever was there, it was done by the whole Udgam BA Program Society. And I also gave them free hands कि ठीक यही समय है कि तुम किसी फंक्शन को कैसे ऑर्गेनाइज कर सकते हो. For that I gave them the free hands. So do as you wish to, and that's how they came up with. I feel this was a successful thing, and yes, अंत में मैं हमारे जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लोग हैं उनको धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी, और साथ में हमारा जो कंप्यूटर सिस्टम है उसमें हमारे जो कंप्यूटर इंचार्ज हैं उनको मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी. उनका नाम तो मैं भूल गई अभी, सुमन झा को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी कि उनकी ही वजह से ये पूरा का चीज बिना किसी इंटरप्शन के हम लोग लाइव देख पाए. ही इज ऑल्सो प्लेइंग इट ऑन फेसबुक, तो जो बच्चे यहाँ नहीं ज्वाइन कर पाए हैं वो फेसबुक पे जाए. और उम्मीद करती हूँ इसके साथ कि फिर कभी फ्यूचर में मौका मिलेगा with our new session, with our new batch, because we teachers are always young. Every year we get the new batch, and whenever time requires, we will call you back. and thank you very much for sharing your precious moment with us. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And with this, we can end our session and meeting with the photographs. Photographs कौन ले रहा है? ये हमें नहीं आता है, भरत जी लेंगे. Yes, all our teachers, please come and join for the group photographs. All our teachers. Neena ma'am, namaskar. Yes, all the teachers along with the speaker. Yes.
Yeah. सभी please अपना कैमरा ऑन कर लें.
Yes.
मैम.
Yes.
मैम एक रिक्वेस्ट है.
हाँ बोलिए.
फीडबैक फॉर्म फिल कर दें जितने भी ऑडियंस है.
अच्छा हाँ, ये तो मैं भूल गई. जितने भी ऑडियंस है, चैट बॉक्स में फीडबैक फॉर्म आया है, उसको आप जरूर से भरें, जिससे हमें अगला जो भी हम वेबिनार करवाएं बच्चों के लिए, उसमें हमें इसके अलावा जो चीजों की जरूरत हो, क्या मॉडिफिकेशंस कर सकते हैं, हम करें. हमारी एक इसके बाद और लोगों को भी लेंगे हम, यदि ये फोटोग्राफ हो गया हो तो वी विल टेक द नेक्स्ट. यस.
हाँ जी हो गया.
Okay, now Akash, call all your members if they are present here. All the members.
I request all of the members
to join for the photograph. Yes, Suman ji, आप भी आइए.
जल्दी से अपना कैमरा ऑन कर लें सभी. Done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And so we have a group of around 500 students for MBA program, if we count it from first year, second year, and third year. So that was a great thing. Okay, namaskar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And best wishes.
Yes, best wishes. Yes, that's it. Okay. So that was a great thing. बहुत अच्छे से क्वेश्चन पूछा हमारे टीचर्स ने और हमारे बच्चों ने बहुत बढ़िया से चीजों को किया.
बीच में मैं गैप हो गया मैम, नेटवर्क नहीं आ रहा था.
हमें लगा we were waiting. कभी ये जो मैं कल मीटिंग में कह रही थी, इसका हमें डर था कि कहीं किसी की ओर से प्रॉब्लम ना हो, लेकिन सभी चीजें अच्छे से हो गई.
मंदार जी से मैं पूछना चाह रहा था, पता नहीं उस बीच हो गया हो कि वो इंटरव्यू का जो पूरा एटमॉस्फेयर था उसे रिक्रिएट कर सके, तो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग होता है वो. और इन्होंने
आपकी आवाज अभी भी क्लियर नहीं है.
हाँ, तो वो नेटवर्क की वजह से हो सकता है. ठीक है.
ठीक है, फिर हम अपनी मीटिंग एंड करें. फिर
ठीक
कुछ नए चीजों के साथ फिर मिलेंगे.
गायत्री मैम, कांग्रेचुलेशंस, बहुत अच्छा आपने प्रोग्राम कराया.
कांग्रेचुलेशंस
टू आकाश आल्सो.
Yes, it is the whole team of the and it